Good day, friends. You've stumbled upon unexplained creature encounters. I'd like to just take a minute to thank everyone for watching and supporting my channel. And if you haven't subscribed or given any likes, take some time to consider it now. It'll help my channel and make sure that all my videos will be easier to find. We'll be bringing a variety of creatures, cryptids, and critters into the mix, along with some stories of our own. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and let's get right into our video. This week's installment is about the great state of Nebraska and its own mysterious monster, the Oakland creature. Once part of the great American desert, home of the spectacular Reuben sandwich, center of jazz music and thriving agriculture, these are what Nebraska is known for. As you can see, cryptids did not make the cut. When it comes to strange activity, radioactive hornets, the albino cannibals, the salt witch, even the Lake Walgren monster are some of the top contenders. I'd imagine there would be a little talk of the elusive Bigfoot scurrying across the prairie. So you can imagine my surprise when I came across this story. As the town of Oakland approached the 50th anniversary of its founding, one couple seemed to have witnessed the eerie monster now referred to as the Oakland creature. How would such a thing come about? Let's go back to July 1974 and investigate. It was like something I'd never heard before, Dale Jones recalls in his tale to the Flatwater Free Press. It's indescribable, Dale goes on to say, that he'd tried to explain to people when they'd ask, but unless you'd heard about it for yourself, there's just no real way to know or understand. One thing's clear though, the encounter most likely influenced the rest of his life. I know my encounter changed my life. The Jones family had then lived in a village of around 1,300 people or so. They alerted their neighbors after hearing screams every night coming from various areas of their 22 acres of forested land. Between the corn cribs, towards the cornfield, was the direction Dale's wife Linda had recalled witnessing a large object running away on two legs when she had walked into their farmhouse's porch to calm their dog. Once the Joneses came forward, word spread and many more witnesses spoke out about their own encounters with strange animals prowling around the farmlands. Nick Wickstrom was out delivering the Omaha World Herald newspaper on a side road when he came across what he later told the Flatwater Free Press was like nothing he'd ever seen before or since. It looked like it was running on its front knuckles, he explained. There was no tail. Its legs looked like ours, but for all I know, it could have been a possum. It would have to be a really big possum, though. Leonard Konarski was a part-time officer with the Oakland Police Department before being elected to the sheriff of Burke County later that year. Being the Swedish capital of Nebraska, many could say that Oakland is a close-knit community. When the location and capture showed little to no avail, Konarski expressed his frustration with the situation. We had a drought that year, so it was about impossible to find any track. I remember spending nights in the city park looking for it, he stated. Eventually, the mainstream media picked up on the story, including 3 different television stations out of Omaha, as armed, organized parties set out to search for what was at that point being called the Oakland Monster. Things became spookier. Many theories began to sprout up. As these incidents went on, while most locals believed that the Oakland Monster to be a Nebraska native Bigfoot, there were definitely other accusations given, and this is where it gets crazy. The mutilations were too well performed for them to have been done by animals, according to one source. The cattle had their hearts removed, along with other specific organs. After hearing the latest information, theories moved on closer to the likes of aliens, or even cult activities rather than Sasquatch. Harriet McFeely, owner of the Bigfoot Crossroads of America Museum in Hastings, Nebraska, is known to be well versed in Bigfoot legend. She has accused a local Bigfoot of braiding an ancient knotted flag. She also has said to have learned that Bigfoot is reputed to braid the manes of local horses. However, it is not recognized for killing or disfiguring livestock. According to Andy Norman, a professor at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh and researcher of Bigfoot and other oddities, the Oakland monster was most likely a cougar or some other sort of mountain lion. Karnaski did confirm the drought mentioned earlier in this story, pointing out that the region was abnormally dry and the animal may have appeared near Logan Creek in search of food and water. Still, however, the theory did not explain the sightings reported by the likes of Linda Jones, who remembered seeing a 6-foot-tall creature running on 2 legs. If somebody would ask me to go look for it, I wouldn't want to see it. It was terrifying, Linda's husband Dale mentions. Andy Norman seemed to believe that the Oakland monster could have been a product of the combination of several legends and the rising of popularity of UFOs, given that we are talking about 1974. However, Dale Jones remembers the thing like it was yesterday, so try telling him that. It's possible that the Oakland creature grew out of the legend surrounding a better-known beast, the Walgren monster, also known as the Alki Lake monster. It was supposedly described around 1921 as a 10 to 12 foot monster that ate animals. After initially recorded in Sheridan County, 350 miles west of Oakland, the tale spun into what one may consider a level of ridiculousness. The rumored creature finally... Sorry about that, folks. The rumored creature finally reached a whopping 40 feet in length before it was later linked to Nebraskan John G. Mayer, the guitar player. Yes, the guitar player. Though in likely relation to the well-known singer, songwriter, and skilled guitar player, Mr. Mayer had grown quite the reputation as, of course, a hoaxer. Even after being discredited, however, all we really need is a good story to keep the tales told. Another discredited theory that was the Oakland monster had once been a mammal that had been stung by radioactive hornets and grew into the monstrosity as a result. According to legend, these hornets had been exposed to a cloud of radiation emitted by a plant sometime after the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear accident. Though the idea of such a creature might make it for a good kaiju origin, I'd say it's safe to throw that theory out myself. What do you guys think? Possibly the most peculiar of Nebraska folklore originates from North Omaha's Hummel Park. The location of Native American burial grounds, alleged cult gatherings, and murders make it one of the most haunted parks in the U.S. That is, if you're into that sort of thing. Probably the most terrifying claim, though, is about a community of albinos cohabitating deep inside the park, possibly in a treehouse or in an abandoned farmhouse. According to the legend, these specific albinos are nocturnal cannibals who prey on nighttime wanderers when they attack, kill, and consume them. Though the legend is unlikely to be linked to the Oakland monster, it's definitely a scary enough urban legend to keep believers out of Hummel Park. In the end, it's honestly hard to tell what the Oakland creature is or where it came from, but this story certainly got me fascinated with how one weird sighting can grow into a vast web of conspiracy. What do you guys think? Thanks again for taking the time to listen to this tale, and remember, they're out there.